All right. Today we are working on finishing up a few lures. We've got all these guys to finish sand, and then we've got some little lead pellets that I made that we're going to drop through this swivel. This swivel runs, the wire runs through the other part of the swivel here. This is all just kind of dry fit right now. You gotta drill out that hole for the lead, finish sanding, glue the lip and the wire harness in, finish the end of the wire harness, and then we are going to finish these guys today, so tomorrow we can paint them and fish with them, hopefully. So let's get to sanding. As far as sanding equipment goes, we got some little needle files, some really high grit sandpaper, mostly for finishing the edges of the lips, some 400 grit, and a whole bunch of Dremel accessories. We got our Dremel up here, so let's get to work. I was a bit ambitious when I was first starting this video, and I thought I would be able to get multiple of these baits done for this week. I ended up just finishing the mouse wake bait, so that's what we'll be focusing on in today's video. Wake baits aren't very popular from my experience in New Hampshire. It's pretty hard to convince bass around here to hit big baits and big noisy topwaters in general, but I know a couple of spots that I think might have some bass willing to hit something this goofy and ridiculous. So make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you'll know when next week's video comes out to see if we were able to catch anything on this crazy bait. If you've ever worked with Balsa before, you'll know that speed helps when drilling holes like this, and you'll notice I kind of had the hole scored before I began to minimize tear out. That's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. Looking pretty good. I can get pretty carried away detail filing and sanding like this. Probably why I wasn't able to finish as many baits as I thought I would be able to. But the one I did finish came out pretty nice. I'm going to try this little round diamond bit first. Alright. Pretty happy with this level of finish here. Got some nice detail in the face. Sorry, I still got my mask on. Pop that off. Yeah. Okay. Time to get everything fit up, get some epoxy mixed up. We'll have to fill this hole after we glue the lip and the harness in. But let's get that all prepped, get some epoxy mixed up. This will be the first one to finish. I was having some camera overheating issues when recording this part of the video, so I missed gluing in the lip coming up here, but it was pretty basic. Filled the hole with epoxy. I tried not to get much squeeze out when I was inserting lead into the hole because I didn't want any epoxy in that center hole of the lead where the swivel is going to be. Pretty happy with that. Alright, so here I've already gotten the epoxy in for the lip, inserted the lip and the wire harness, coated the lead hole, inserted the lead, put the swivel in place, and then put the wire harness through the swivel. I guess I said that out of order. Now I'm just using some excess to kind of fill the crack around the lead hole. Now I'm going to mix up some micro balloons, and then I had camera overheating issues again, but I used that to fill the eye socket. Eye socket filled up, lip glued in nice and straight. And got the swivel coming out of the weight here. Swivel still spins. Sweet. We just gotta let that epoxy set up, and then we're gonna dip it. I think we're gonna seal this guy with oil-based polyurethane. Should be ready by the morning. We'll open this up, give it a stir while that epoxy dries, and then we'll give her a dip. Good morning, Griffey. You ready to see how our lure came out? Let's go. Alright. It's time to see how the polyurethane came out on our mouse wake bait. Alright, now we just need to finish the tail eye here. I'm actually planning on putting either a single hook or a screw stop to put a rubber worm on the tail here. Swivel still spins. Polyurethane didn't lock it up. We'll clean the excess off here. And then we can get to painting. Sweet. I just recently got this wire bender, and I'm still kind of learning how to use it, how it places the eyes, and how I can use it to kind of finish off wire harnesses like this. And on this one, I didn't quite leave enough room, so it was a little bit of a struggle not damaging the back of the lure when twisting the final eye here. And here I'm just clipping off that tag end so that it won't run into the tail of the lure. Same thing as with the Balsa, when drilling the epoxy micro balloon mix, speed really helps get a clean finish. That is looking pretty good. Nice and dry, not tacky. Nice and smooth. It's going to be a pretty simple paint job on this guy. We're just going to go white. Leave the belly white, and then we'll kind of do a mix of browns on the top. A little bit of face detail, a little bit of ear detail. And we got to paint up some eyes, probably black or red. And maybe red with black with a red pupil. That might look cool. We'll see. All right. Alrighty. Gonna be starting off with a little wicked white. crusties. Looking good. Just building up nice even coats here. Nice and gentle, especially with that wicked paint. You don't want to lay it on too thick. Alright, up next we got transparent sand. That's what it's called. Yep, sand. We're just gonna go down the back. Up next, got a little bit of black in the brush. We're just going to do the eye sockets here. Use this little shield just to kind of protect the rest. Spray, that's correct. Good. Okay. We got a little bit of this pearl gold. We're just going to go along the back a little bit. I don't want this thing totally metallic, but that light brown wasn't quite enough. And then we'll go back over this with the dark brown. Now we are on to the darker brown. I think we're just going to do a little bit of kind of splotchy detail on the back. See how it looks. Toning down that copper a little, that gold. Alright, I'm pretty happy with that. Alright, I mixed up a little bit of pearl pink. Gonna do some detail on the nose and in the ears. Pretty good. We're going to switch airbrushes. We'll be shooting the mid coat out of an Iwata Neo. Alright, this is what we're using for our mid coat. UVLS clear matte today. The Glossworks Fine 2 is just what I got. We're going to reduce this pretty aggressively with distilled water so that it will spray nicely through our airbrush. Just water. Pretty reduced, but go even a little bit more. And we're going to do the same thing as last week's video. We're doing kind of wet on wet, so you got to go sort of quick here. But this is pretty small, so I should be able to get this one done without having to refill. And we're going to do 2 layers of this mid coat, because I want to mid coat the back of the eyes that I painted too. So we'll do those with the first one, then put the eyes on, and then we're going to do a second mid coat. Do the eyes as well. And we'll just finish up the top on anywhere that looks a little thin. Sweet. Make sure you clean your airbrush immediately when using this stuff. It will clog your airbrush, so tons of water in there. Spray it through, tons more water immediately. Alright, time for clear coat. Got some UV resin in a cup. We're going to go really careful on the bottom because we don't want to get any UV resin in the swivel. Alrighty. We're just going to let that turn for a minute. Looks nice and even. Just let some bubbles come to the surface, then we're going to blast it. Alrighty, here she is. Looking pretty mean. That gold on the eye came out great. Alright, we're gonna throw one of these guys on the tail section. Thanks so much for watching this week's video. Make sure you check back next week to see me fishing with it and find out how many fish I was able to catch. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in next week's video.